because this house cannot afford to eat organically. So we will start by hearing your decision for the government team. By your applause, do you believe the government team upheld the resolution tonight? Okay, by your applause, do you believe the opposition best upheld the resolution tonight? I think we are going to call that a win for the opposition tonight. Congratulations. Well, maybe it's a good thing. I kind of really wanted to go thematically. I love things.
We're going for drinks.
I love things that are linked by theme, and I actually asked permission for the losing team to be presented with a pie in the face, since this was a food fight, but I didn't get approval for that. I think it would have been really fun. I thought it would have been hilarious. Oh well. But then there was the issues. Well, if the faculty loses, can a student actually put a pie in their face? Is that legal or desirable? So we looked at those issues. Okay. At this point, we have two forensic speech team students who will be coming about the audience with the wireless microphone. And at this point, we would like to hear from you. We would like your questions, your comments, your thoughts, and your support or congratulations for points that you heard tonight. We have a person over here wishing to be recognized.
So well done to both parties, I enjoyed that. Faculty, very conservative argument presented this evening, and I'd like to know which one of you were representing John Boehner and Mitch McConnell. But seriously, when you were articulating your argument, are these indeed ideologies that you possess, or did you find it a struggle to follow through on such an individualistic, sort of liberal in the classic sense argument?
I guess I think both for myself as well as for my neighbors that there are many good things in the world that we would like to do that we simply are unable to afford. Right? I'd like to send $1,000 a week, to Darfur. I'd like to buy a Chevy Volt when they come out. I'd like to do a lot of good things. I simply can't afford to do it. So I think the argument we were articulating is one that at least I wrestle with in terms of the actual choices that I make about my lifestyle on a day-to-day basis. So I guess I'm individualistic. I think the heart of our argument was, yes, there are clear benefits to organic. I simply can't afford to do it.
The magic bean lady who was referenced is Bev Dow, Dr. Bev Dow. It was my teacher. No, that's all right. I actually think we're going to start calling her the colorful bean lady. Who was talking in this series about being a locavore and what that means, and that's something for myself that my family is trying to accomplish. So, I think you should eat organically. Even more importantly, I think you should eat locally. But arguing this point, I think it is still true, because I'm holding on to that win, I guess, a little bit. That it's expensive, and we all know it's expensive to do. So you have to kind of weigh that out with what you can afford. And one of the speakers, Matt, I can't remember his last name now. I apologize. It starts with B. We'll call him the colorful bean guy. He talked about, like, just do what you can do. That's the best place to start. So I think that's true, at least.
Thank you.
How would you answer your own question?
Well, obviously, I see the practical element of your argument, right? That we are living in unprecedented economic times, and certain difficult choices. But at the same time, I think too we have to operationalize what we consider to be organic food, because technically you can grow food very cheaply in your own home garden, much more cheaply than buying the Circle Organic celery hearts at Jewel for $10. So I guess if I were shown some real alternatives to produce organic foods for myself that I could reconcile with my budget, then absolutely I would promote it. But if I didn't have space for a garden, if I didn't have the resources or the time to create a garden, then I'd have to go with another option.
I'd just like to comment on you're talking about the unavailable resources in the inner city as far as organic produce. But there's Tara Brockman, who's the author who spoke. Her farm, they drive up to Evanston each weekend. That's actually where they sell their produce. And I know that farmers markets are required to accept food stamps. And also, if you're a vendor convenience store, I mean, if you try to buy produce and fruits there, it's going to be much more expensive then. And also, I know they have Whole Foods in the city and Trader Joe's, so it is available.
Yeah, I think, and maybe this connects also with your question, Judson. There's a danger in middle class or decently paid people like me who can afford organic. Making the argument that my neighbor, who has been out of work for a year and a half as an unemployed carpenter, also should be making the same choice. So I guess I'm worried about sort of that generalizing. And I guess that was the heart of my argument as well, is it may be much easier for those of us who live in a more suburban setting to be able to find available and easily accessible responsible food choices in a way that might be much more difficult for those who live in very urban kinds of settings. Yeah, though I acknowledge the facts you said.
I think too, something that maybe wasn't brought up is that there are options that do make organic or local food affordable in some ways. I didn't hear anybody mention consumer support and agriculture CSAs, vegetable CSAs. The one that we belong to is like a work for food option where those folks that can't afford the good food as much can go and work for the food, which makes it more affordable than buying the junk at Walmart or whatever. Or buying, I know, shame, seriously. Like we grow natural beef and we sell it by the quarter at the side, and it's much more affordable if you were to buy the crud from Jewel out of their little styrofoam packages and buy in bulk. Did I say that wrong? Buy in bulk, yeah.
I guess what I have to say to that is, I know everyone here seems to be hating on Walmart. That seems to be the theme of the night. But many of you who maybe not browse the internet news as much as I do when I get bored at work, I think I was going to show this to my boss later. I can't do that now. Walmart just picked up that they are going to start buying from local economies and local farmer markets and selling it at the same price they would their usual products to help support local products and local organic things. So that's one way you can help your local farmers, is by going to Walmart and being like, okay, so which of these tomatoes comes from the farmer's market, and which, and they said they're going to be labeling it. It's going to say organic, locally grown. They'll have the company, and you'll be able to support your local economy that way. Because I was put in an interesting spot today when I was giving the resolution because I completely disagree with everything I said. I know